There was once an old walled city that was under attack. A general from another land led an army. They surrounded the high walls of the city, and no food could get in, and no one could get out. The people inside the city were trapped. Time passed, and over many months they became hungrier and weaker. What can we do? We can never win. The army outside is stronger. The ruler of the world city said, "We will surrender. It is better that way than to die of hunger." And he prepared to open the gate and wave a white flag when an old woman of the city said, "Stop! I know a way to save our city. All I need is a cow." "A cow?" said the ruler. "All the cows in the city have been killed for their meat." She said, "Perhaps someone, somewhere, has secretly kept a cow." So the guards searched all of the houses, and there one guard found a cow in a family's basement where they had kept the cow for their own milk selfishly. The guard took the cow to the ruler. "So how are you going to save us with this cow?" And the old woman said, "Well, the cow is rather thin. We will need to feed the cow. We will need 2 sacks of grain." And she showed 2 empty sacks. But the ruler said, "All of the grain has been used. All of it has been turned to flour, baked into bread and eaten. There is no grain left in the city." The people said, "We cannot give grain." But the old woman said, "Perhaps if everyone just gives a little grain, a handful of grain, whatever they have. Look." And she led them to her own house, and there she emptied her last grain into one of those sacks. "Well," the ruler said, "is our only chance." Although the people of the city were unsure, they looked at the old woman, and she seemed so certain. Everyone gave a handful of grain, the little they had, and finally the 2 sacks were full. The people gathered around to see what the old woman would do. "Empty the 2 sacks of grain onto the ground." Well, they did, and then she brought the cow. "Let the cow eat the grain." And the cow started eating. "What?" said the people. "That cow is eating the last of our food. Why should we give the cow that food?" "Patience," said the ruler. "She seems to know what she's doing." Finally, the cow finished eating, and the cow no longer looked so thin. "What now?" said the ruler. The old woman led the cow to the gate. She ordered the gate to be opened, and she pushed the cow out of the gate. And now the gate was closed again. "What have you done? The one cow we have now has eaten all the grain, and you've given it to the enemy?" Outside the gate, the soldier of the general came and took the cow to him. I didn't think they'd have any more cows, said the general. They think they can buy their freedom and peace with one cow? We will eat well tonight. And he ordered for the cow to be killed. They would have roast beef that night. There was a delicious smell, and the meat was served. And the general began to eat. But then the cook came to his table, and the cook looked frightened. What's wrong? Why are you looking so frightened? And the cook said, Oh, great general, when I butchered the cow and opened the cow's stomach, its stomach was full of grain, good grain. Grain? Grain? Said the general. They have enough grain in the city to feed a cow with grain? Oh, we have made a great mistake. We are hungrier than they are. There is no hope for us. The next morning, the enemy army left. They retreated back to their own land, and the city was saved. The cow and the grain and the old woman's clever trick had saved the city. I learned this story from Nour, from Gaza, in Palestine. Thank you, Nour.